7.
Hello. So, welcome back. Before we broke, Pascal and Nidna were approaching a man who they saw eat a cat whole. At least Nidna claims he.
Yep.
So, what do you approach? And he says, "Coins for an old cripple, sirs."
I'm going to leverage my trait of being horribly, horribly awkward in social situations and simply look at him and say, "You ate a cat. How would you do that?"
He goes, I don't know what.
So Pascal, well, I don't know. What's appropriate to give a beggar around here? What'll give him some food?
You see a few copper in his hat currently.
Okay. You know what? I'll put
You know at where you're staying that 10 copper will buy you like fine food.
let's put 10 copper in there.
He says, oh, bless you. And he drags himself over. You now see that he is actually on a flat wooden cart with like a truck with small wheels, crude wooden wheels on the bottom.
So tell us about the cat.
He goes,
We're impressed.
Indeed.
What cat, sirs?
The one you swallowed whole.
Give me a
I can do a persuasion check.
persuasion check. Yeah.
16.
He says, I'm sorry. I mean, there was a cat around here earlier. It had come up near me. I remember. I don't know where it's gone. You give me an insight check.
That was pretty terrible. That was my persuasion, by the way.
He scratched me. That's right. He scratched me, and he went away. 18 and what was the other?
I didn't roll it yet.
Nope, you overtalked each other again.
Sorry, I didn't roll my insight check.
Okay, so but you had a 16.
Wow. I'm going to stop using the roll 20 dice. They're pretty terrible to me.
It would appear so.
All right. Well, what'd you actually get?
I rolled a natural 1 on insight.
Oh, okay.
I have a
I got an 18.
You don't notice anything. You just think he's either full of it or Nidna is crazy. Nidna, you notice that he seems to be not lying, but he also seems to be very, like, almost unusually confused about this cat. Like, he's surprised by the scratches on his hand and has a hard time recalling. Like, it seems like he's just having a hard time recalling what happened.
You seem to be a bit confused about this cat.
He says, "Oh, my mind's not what it used to be. I got into some bad runoff on the side of the city, and just since then my brain's been all wrong. The last few years have been hard. My legs don't work like they should anymore. I'm forced to beg.
Hmm.
Hmm. Cat had one ear. Does that seem familiar to you?
Yeah, it's a big granary cat that prowls around this way sometimes.
Hmm.
Why? What happened to the cat?
It disappeared into your mouth. And you say bad things have happened to you.
He goes, well, I don't understand. I mean, into my mouth. What are you talking about? And yes, and I was down in the south towns, and I was working. I was helping unload at a few warehouses, and I fell it out of the one. Uh, it's near the tannery, and I fell into the runoff, and awful stuff, and it's a poison, really. Ever since then, I haven't been able to think quite straight.
Hmm. Rather than the runoff, it sounds like this cat is giving you trouble. Hmm. Magic cat. Hmm. Would
Hmm.
I be capable of hmm, cure wounds cures wounds, right?
Yes. You would be considering something like restoration or greater restoration for what you.
I've got lesser restoration.
All right.
Sure, I'll cast lesser restoration on him. I actually have that ready.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Oh, he says, oh, my legs, they don't hurt anymore. So, oh, thank you, sir. Oh, and he grips your hand, and he's like weeping openly. Oh, bless you. I don't. Give me an Arcana check too. He says, "Oh, thank you so much." He's actually actively sobbing, and he's raising himself. And he goes, "Oh, I'm very weak still, but I can feel I can stand again."
And I
Do I
rolled
roll as
17.
well, or just Nidna?
No, it's specifically Ninna for rolling the spell. It worked. It fixed something clearly with him. He seems more hale and hearty. His vision, his eyes, they seem clearer. There's a sharpness of wit that's returned to him. But at the same time, there was an odd feeling of resistance and rejection when you were casting the spell, like something trying not to be fixed. Uh, Typically, with diseases and things like that, you've probably used this before in the past. You don't get that feeling.
My good man.
You're not sure entirely if it was or
My good
how.
man. I believe you're possessed by a magic cat.
He says, "What?"
Hmm. An
I
interesting
clearly
theory.
saw a cat walk into your mouth.
He goes, "Oh, that's I don't understand. You're talking some kind of madness. You must. You're, you're a man of God, but you've got to help me. I don't understand what's happening."
I don't quite understand either. Let me see what I can do about that.
Well, could you?
Um.
Oh, he keeps trying to stand. and he keeps like losing his strength and sitting back down.
Pascal kind of sees what's going on
Mm-hmm.
and has a hunch. And he looks at the beggar and says, "All right, come on out."
Let me ask, what does Pascal think? What I think Pascal thinks.
He's rolling with what Greshik said. He thinks that he's possessed.
Oh, okay. I thought something even more hilarious and ridiculous. That's not true. Like, that would be like if I described this guy and he's wearing shabby old linen clothes and like a old unwashed overall that have been on him probably this entire time. They're stained brown everywhere and patchy. His skin is sagging, and he's rail thin and malnourished. No reaction when you says that, and he goes, I don't know.
Come on out. He's got a more powerful restoration spell than that up his sleeves.
I would also like to cast resistance on this guy.
Resistance. Okay. What's resistance?
One willing creature must for the spell and target roll a d4 and add the number to the saving throw of its choice.
All right. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't feel well. Again, there's that resistance, like a blockage.
What you thinking, Nidna?
Well, I'll relay that I feel some resistance from him.
He's like, oh, I'm not resisting anything, sirs. Oh my good
Exactly.
lords.
This is outside your control. Something terrible has happened to you.
Oh, it has. It has. I don't think I've actually eaten in days. I don't remember eating anything. I'm very hungry.
It's some sort of cat, you believe, right? Perhaps a demon of some sort, maybe?
Yes, somehow magical.
Would it be worth taking him to the local temple of Wazik?
That's a good idea. Let's do that. Oh, he can't walk. I'll carry him.
He goes, oh Lord, will they fix me?
We can only hope, my friend.
Oh,
They can fix cannons anyways.
Cannons, people, same thing.
I'm no cannon.
Close enough. We know where the temple is, as we've been, or at least I've been there before.
Yes. So you help carry the man off, and he needs to frequently stop and catch his breath. As you pass, you start walking, and he goes, "Could I, perhaps, could I use my coin to buy some bread or maybe an ale?"
I'll grab that for you. And he's not going to take his coin. I will purchase some bread for him.
And he goes, oh, thank you. He takes a bite of the bread and he destroys the bread. Not like eats it like quickly or even anything like that. It's a little scary how he eats the bread. So, I barely remember finishing it. I'm still so hungry.
Grab another piece of bread. We might need to show that to someone.
I will. And he do.
Now, resistance gives him a D4 on his saving throws, right?
Yep.
for the next thing.
And I can cast it as many times as I want.
Okay. He goes, ah! Oh, no. This is the Lord's bread, not mine.
Hey, out of character, is there...
Yep.
I really don't know all the patrons. Is there a patron that specifically is like a healing or a curses patron?
There is a patron of
Would it be reasonable? Let me ask you
medicine.
this: would it be reasonable for me to assume that any temple might deal with?
Within reason, especially
Okay.
since like Wazik is literally Nidna's temple. So
Right. Okay. All right. Carry on. I was
That's
just curious.
it's very much like a kind of an open place for you.
I need to check something.
What's okay?
How many third level spells can I ready per day? Also, for some reason, I can't figure out how to ready spells, and some of my spells have been unreadied. Not quite sure. Something's wrong with my sheet. Let me find my...
But anyways, you make your way on, and you reach the great. Actually, at this point, it's the temple that's built into the side of one of the fortresses near the gatehouse. He says, "Oh, you're not taking me to prison, are you? I've done nothing wrong."
Mm-mm. Nope. We're going to make you
All
better,
right.
hopefully.
And you lead him in, and a young woman says, how can we help? Hello again. It's the same woman that you met the day before when you brought the donation from the one man.
Ah. Hello, my dear. Oh, no. Wait. I'm horribly, horribly awkward in situations. How do I do this?
No, I think you just did it perfectly.
Yes, I was about to say. You start with "Hello, my dear."
Hello, my
Pascal
dear.
just looks
Wait,
at you because
no,
you're the
that's not
Wazik
how I
man.
should do this. And then you just sit there and ponder.
Like your
Can I-
conversation is in character
Oh.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I ponder for a bit, and then say all too loudly, "This man is possessed or probably cursed."
She goes, how? What do you mean, sir?
Tell him about the resistance you feel when you
I've
try to
attempted
heal him.
to cast restoration on this man, as well as resistance, and I have felt resistance as if his body were fighting me. And, would you tear off a piece of that bread and feed it to him?
Pascal does so.
Give me a dexterity save.
Who? Me?
Whoever feeds him the bread.
It's me. Thank God. 22.
You go to hand him the bread and you tear off a piece and he lunges at you. Do you remember Bilbo from Lord of the Rings? It's like that. Like his lips pull back from his gums and his teeth are very like rotted and yellow from the malnutrition. And he goes like for your whole hand and snatches the bread and devours it. And he goes, "Oh, no, was there bread, sir?" No memory of that at all.
Yeah, he's possessed.
Yes.
And she goes, "God, Lord, I'll call the priests over."
Please do. Wow, Revivify is a cool spell.
Oh, Lord, are you getting into the higher level cleric spells now?
Well, I have one more level 3 spell readied. Do you think I'm allowed to pick that now?
Sure, reasonably speaking.
Thank you. Like I said, some of my spells are unreadied and I can't figure out how to ready them again.
Oh yeah,
there's
no, Revivify. It's the oh god, somebody died in combat. It's the low level resurrection.
Yeah.
It's also got a hell of a material component. So
Yeah. Oh, I don't have that spell in one moment.
okay. And she sort of flees your presence and brings back actually 3 priests. She says, "This is the man. He doesn't seem to mean ill, but well, when presented food, it's unsettling." He says, "Oh, I don't mean to unsettle."
Let us come in. Let us put him down. He seems to be resistant to healing and cannot remember eating. And this all started because I watched a cat disappear into his mouth.
A cat, you said.
Yes, a whole cat disappeared into his mouth.
Like you watched him take apart a cat and eat it.
No, I mean the entire cat whole in one bite.
Oh. Unsettling, to
Yes.
say the least. What do you think? Yes, let us bring him to one of the cells. I shall have to read on this.
I would like to, if possible, cast Remove Curse on him.
All right. So you cast Remove Curse. Pascal, give me a perception check.
Let's see. $12.
You notice like he casts this Remove Curse. As he casts, as Rinna reaches out his hand and holds his holy symbol, his eyes are slightly shut as he mutters his prayers. You see all of his tattoos, as they normally shift, suddenly slither back as if they're fleeing from his hand.
Oh,
And then as
yeah, right. I forgot
hand
about that.
Flow back down his arm.
Fascinating. You should tell me about those tattoos sometime. I don't think I've ever asked. I mean, I've heard
Quite
tidbits
interesting.
here and there.
I totally forgot I could just remove this curse myself now. I'm totally not going to do it, though.
Uh-oh. So, give me a... Give me a spell check. Just a basic wisdom check for you, adding your proficiency bonus.
All right, we'll add 3. Yeah, 3. $18 plus 3, 21.
So, you feel this thing that you felt. Like, you can hear almost this wailing and screaming as he goes, "Oh," and the man, like, his hair all raises on his body. He goes, "Ah! Ah!" And he vomits forth this black bile
Gimble's
and
missing out.
collapses on the floor, unconscious.
Is he all right?
I removed
I'm not
the
going to
curse
approach him,
from
though.
him.
Well, we'll confine him to one of the cells. We have several empty that have recently been vacated by the priests, or some of the monks here. They have good, strong doors. We'll lock them and we keep an eye on him.
Uh,
I don't know if
Anything else
locking
you
him
want?
up will be necessary.
Might be for his own safety at this point. We won't feed him right away. We'll provide him with water and we'll give him some food and see if he still remains disturbed by devilry.
seems reasonable.
Ninda can also, you can both give me a religion. The priests rolled a 1.
I rolled an 18.
I rolled an 18 too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's total for both of you, right? There are demons in the world. Not devils, not the things from Haywold, not the great horrible tyrants, but demons which are manifestations created by magic. And they're a sort of a raw element from the psychic moods and desires of people and creatures. They're almost manifestations of one raw emotional state. You believe this man was being possessed by a demon of hunger.
Ah.
Looking close, you actually can see in the bile where there are several squirming masses that shiver and then evaporate in black smoke.
That was disturbing.
Yeah. But we seem to have helped the man. It was a good day.
As long as he, could get his life turned around and get some food, I suppose. What are the odds that this thing comes back?
How much do I know about demons?
Well, that's about what you know. You can give me another religion check if you'd like.
All right. 4. Mighty 4.
That's literally what you know. In fact,
Okay.
the only thing you know is that it's a demon of hunger of some sort.
Well, I guess that's all we can do for the moment.
I will make this clear to the priests.
We can perhaps come back again and check on him in a day or two.
Yes, let's do that.
Perhaps. And a woman comes over and she goes, "Sir, you requested?" And he goes, "Ah, yes." And he says, "Don't touch anything. Water was blessed this morning." And you're in kind of you're in an entryway. It's a stone floor, and there's some grates on the floor to and he sort of throws the water at it to wash it away, and it hisses and pops, and the leftover black nodules explode into tiny hot flashes. He goes, "Oh! Oh, certainly unholy. Perhaps what we should have him do is drink some holy water as well for his evening supper."
That sounds like a good idea.
Yes, I'll make sure our head priest specifically blesses his food. Perhaps he should ask for some other blessings. Is there anything you could provide?
Hmm. Hmm.
Do you, if he turns out to still be possessed, do you have means by which to defend yourselves should he break out?
Well, I mean, this is a fortress.
Ah, okay.
Most of us are, in fact, trained soldiers. To some form, though, I'll
Silly
admit I
question.
myself am just a clerk. But yes, there are guards and such here. Uh,
Hopefully some being
we are the
kept on
care
him.
of the children in the church, but um, yes, we could call some of the bear guard to fore if need be.
Oh, just making sure that we didn't inadvertently put you in any kind of danger.
I appreciate that. What were your names again?
I'm Nidna, and
I
this
am
is.
Pascal. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Thank you so much. Let's take this gentleman to the side, and I'll discuss with these two. Now, where did you find this man? I know our head priest may be interested in knowing. Is there any other details you know about?
He was just a homeless beggar on the market street.
And we'll let her know the vicinity in which we found him. Oh, and that he, this is important. He fell in, it was by a tanner's shop. He fell in a creek or something adjacent to it, I believe.
Runoff.
Near a
Runoff,
tanner's
that's
shop.
correct. Yes,
Oh,
maybe worth
well, we'll see if we can
investigating,
get more
though.
detail.
Though, yes, unfortunately, we did not get more detail from him. I assume there are plenty of tanners around the outskirts of town. And I assume there wouldn't just be one.
No, as far as I know, there are several tanneries. Mostly near the gate.
Perhaps we'll come by tomorrow. If he's awake,
Yes.
we can ask him about where he fell. I don't know if it would be relevant to this demon that possessed him, but it may be worth investigating.
Indeed. Let us return tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume after seeing him carried away, we would take our leave.
All right.
Pascal will offer let's see, what's appropriate? What would be an appropriate donation for taking this guy in off our hands?
Good, thank you.
10 silver pieces is 1 gold, which is probably excessive in this case, I would imagine. Well, no, I'll give 1 gold. That's what we'll do. That seems
Oh, generous.
sufficient.
Well, yes, that should at least feed him for a while. I'll give 1 as well, just to be sure.
Well, we'll take this into our care and use it to feed him and bring him back to health. Get him some new clothes as well. He seems very ill-equipped. And do you know, does he work at all?
Not to our knowledge, no. He was in pretty poor shape when we saw him.
Yes, he
I
couldn't
looked
even
like he
walk.
did.
You had to carry him in.
Yes.
If anything, his strength when he lunged was shocking.
Did he say he worked near the tanner? I couldn't remember.
I believe he was moving freight, physical
Yes.
manual labor.
So these circumstances have perhaps led him to his current state.
Indeed. We'll have to look into it. With that, I would assume that we return to, because you can get the whole story from them tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll return to the inn where our friends have finished reading, yes?
Yes, and gleaning very little.
Yes. So, having returned, you find them exhausted, sore, mentally, and quite done with this book. You've gleaned a few things, but you feel almost more out of sorts and less ready than ever as you realize how much there is to it. Especially since several places in this, when you thought you had it right, it describes an event that sounds perfectly normal and how it utterly shamed the coronation of some past noble. Do give me one more intelligence.
Alright, which guy isn't gonna fuck me?
All of them.
Yes, I did in fact just repick a die halfway through shaking it. Right.
I rolled a 4.
Alright, I hope I roll better than a 4. Alright, that's a 19.
All right. Two things stand out. Typically speaking, there have been several cases where the heraldry was very important. And I'm sorry, I've been using the wrong words. The coat of arms. And it describes, and suddenly it makes sense to you, the coat of arms is literally a illustration of what would be your arm and arms and armor in combat. Hence, shield, a helm, crest, perhaps a mantle, the supporters, where supporters may be animal or knight figures to either side of the shield, indicates a lot of things. There's quite a lot that goes into a potential coat of arms. It seems that Mr. Hero was attempting to keep things simple with the shield, and even that felt a bit overwhelmed trying to explain it. The other half of that is there's a lot of historical baggage that comes with everything on. Like that's the best way of describing it is it's like baggage on baggage.
Clarification, coat of arms and crest are the same thing, correct?
A crest is on the coat of arms.
Because
a coat of arms would be like a shield. Yeah. Guess who spent a lot of time reading this?
Do you want your Saturday back?
Saturday?
Week?
So much time. Actually, it was interesting and enjoyable. I don't want to talk about how much time I spent literally just reading through the glossary.
These are all things I did not know about coat of arms.
And this thing is an entire big thing. That thing that I sent to you is a excellent resource for it. But there are plenty of others, but this is more historical. But yeah. Anyways, like the big thing is, and a big takeaway is what you realize. Hero was attempting to do some things that are described in this book that you, as people who are not scholars, realize don't work like how it works in books. He was trying to take your idealized world and help you realize, what your heraldry and coat of arms is. But you know that when people give just information to a big group and they're like, what do you want to see? Or what do you stand for? He just got slung tons of stuff at people. Basically, he fell into the problem of what every contract artist learns eventually about working with design by committee.
Oh, yes.
Considering we're a group that's been guilty of designing by committee once, and then we all vowed never to do that again on anything because it was a mess. He tried to get everybody involved and tell you things about the Lord, and then in his mind, he was going to present the crest as it would be perfect, but it's sort of a bit of his own fantasy. This also makes you realize that Hero may have had one of his fantasies dashed today a bit. So that's why he may have just kind of left with the book. He's having a bit of a pout, per se. How you deal with this is all on you guys, but you suddenly realize, I see what he was trying to do. And meant it well, but it was the scholar's version of the power trip of, I will know anything and present to them this great knowledge and they'll love it, and they don't love it immediately. They're fools.
Reality doesn't work like it does on paper.
Turns out.
Perhaps, however, I would suggest a bit of a, if not an apology per se, condolences.
I am not helping you with words. I'm like,
No, yeah, I know, and that's I'm. We're speaking as Conrad. I don't know. You're the one
convey
with words,
appreciation.
Rocket. Yes. Considering since it was you and I reading this, and I'm assuming that more or less what Keeper just described is kind of what you had your aha moment out loud with your role. That would be Conrad's. That we have realized we have dashed his hope. Perhaps he was a bit unrealistic. However, we do want to stay in his good graces. He is trying to help us.
I will also add. Given your pretty good role, it's clearly from this book that he is a man of tradition and history, which actually Pascal kind of like you kind of gather this that he's not from the merchants and the wealth side of that 3-power balance that you was described to you. He's from the scholars and clergy mindset.
So theoretically, this book is how everything is done. Doesn't mean actually how everything is done.
Theoretically how it's done. It's literally how it was done, but it's probably leaving out the uglier, like the nitty-gritty details, because it's just a history. It's not like, let's describe the board meeting that was deciding on your emblem. And he's never done it before. So, yeah.
We need to find someone who has done this before. Because a history of why we do everything as we do it is fine and dandy. You just need to know how the hell things are done.
He is
you
our
are taking
sponsor.
the wrong tact on this, I think. That doesn't sound accurate. Like, this is... Okay. You're putting words in my mouth, I think, a bit.
No, I think I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, because it's not, this is not how it's done. It's not how talking to customers will work, basically. It's not that he's wrong in how to make the crest. He's wrong in how to explain the entire coat of arms to you, and he's flopping at it in that way.
Okay.
So, he's like a font of knowledge. We would have to figure out how to get it out of.
But then this book is literally the letter of the law of how the ceremonies are done.
This book is the recounting of every single occurrence of this ceremony.
As told by more or less by an observer who was
Right.
there, a scholar or a scribe
Because
who
no,
detailed notable
yeah.
points or whatever.
Yeah, it's like how law works. It's all precedents. And it's miserable for that. But
I feel like
is,
theoretically there should be a pamphlet version of this that isn't. Wham!
On that note, here comes the king goes, oh, well, sirs, I put in your symbol for your shield. And you have been reading the book. How have you done?
It was touch and go for a bit.
Give me a charisma.
Oh, a charisma check? If the die gives me anything decent, this is going to be fine. 20. Dirty 20, non-natural.
Well, I appreciate your effort putting forth. I am afraid it is quite dry. I intended to bring this over as notes for myself. Did you read from the bookmarks? May I?
Did we, or did we just kind of try to read it cover to cover?
Not well. You were
Didn't
like,
think,
I don't
yeah,
know
that's
what
what I thought.
He goes, you're kind of like, he goes, I see. Okay. This is fine. So, these markers, where I marked them were specifically the events that established why certain parts of the modern ceremony are as they and when they change, in case it was needed. I shouldn't have just left you with them. Now, that said, I have realized I tried to run before walking. So
No, it's fine.
now, a simple thing we will need now, typically, what would appear on a tabard or elsewhere, and especially on, as you put it, a standard for a standard bearer, would be your coat of arms.
Okay.
Your coat of arms typically being made when you are knighted and gaining aspects being granted. Now, of course, you're becoming a manor lord, but still a shield is appropriate since you've been asked to defend a land. Perhaps supporters and other things. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of my... But the coat of arms represents what you are providing to the king in symbology. Like, what are you providing to the people in symbology? The shield is your ability to protect.
Symbolism is the word, by the way.
Symbolery.
What am I bringing? Well, I feel like knowledge, like a book. Magic?
Oh, I see. Yes. I shall have to do some research. Perhaps I shall bring more to you. Though your brass eye is very central to what you want. And I have put in and written down. I will need to determine your place and eventually. But I would suggest, having done a bit of reading myself, keeping it simple to start. And I may have done some asking around and found out about the purple. You could get away with it on a... Perhaps. It represents majesty, beauty. It's typically made for the highest, but on a crest can be allowed. Wearing it as your full color, well, that's the royal color, and offers the pretense that you are in the royal family.
We told you.
May not seem highly by the king.
Do like purple,
but,
though.
Yes. May I suggest deciding upon a model? A motto typically is written upon ribbon, wreathing the shield. Let's stick with a shield, a motto, perhaps sometime a crest, but we'll stick with a shield and a motto. Did you have a purple? Did you decide purple on the azure blue? Was it blue and white or purple and?
Theoretically, it was purple and white, but I am willing to change it. Well, you said that all the tinctures are on the thing that you linked are as they're on this sheet. So
yeah,
white
I'm
is
just gonna use
decent
those. So sable and.
Conrad definitely would have urged you towards blue and white or blue and silver.
Mm-hmm. As would have Pascal. Because angry wooden peace.
I could deal with blue and white. Yeah, I could deal with blue and white.
Jesus. Yes, all right. May I suggest, sir? Yes, may I suggest blue and ermine?
Ermine white or ermine black? Well, there's just this ermine white, blue and ermine white.
Yes.
Now, ermine is valor, justice, and dignity, and also indicates wealth, hence the ermine spots. Very good. I won't complicate it. I lost all the things. So, I leave it to you. Decide on a motto. This is completely of your own will, and that we can have on a purple ribbon. The king does not need to grant you the motto ribbon. That is freely chosen. Boy, I can't wait to learning how to write all this. Anyways,
what language am I realistically making this motto in? Is it
anything you want?
Out of character? I mean,
anything you want? You can convert it to Latin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I wrote down what I think the Revengineers one is.
Oh, I've got to hear this.
Really?
Yes.
They don't think it be like it is, but it do.
Nope.
Oh no, that's Sprocket's motto.
Yes.
I
am completely fine with that.
It's on your adventure logs as the subtitle to the Adventures of the Revengineers in Latin.
If I fits, I sits.
I'm not going to argue with it, but it's dumb. Yes.
Sprocket, you see Sprocket eyeing a little corner, goes over, wedges himself into it.
What do I feel like that's inappropriate somehow?
I should actually ask Alex if this is sane.
Oh yeah, because he did take Latin. Phrasing for Latin.
Yes. Because I just literally did Google Translate, but I was like, wait, we know someone who can actually do this. So yes.
So need motto, shield. And what was the third one? Or did we figure out the shield already?
I think, well, we've pretty much decided on the shield, or at least partially. I mean, I can work with you more afterward.
For the crest, for the helpers standing, the helpers standing beside it, owl bears.
It doesn't have to be
Or-
the same on both sides, by the way.
Well, one of them's probably going to be an owl bear.
Got it. Fine with that.
Touch not the cat, but with a glove.
Yeah. Yeah, the supporters, right. Anyways, okay, so they're going to decide on a motto. Kind of running out of time. You've apparently exercised one demon tonight, though.
Wait, you guys
Yeah,
do
that's
what
cool.
now?
We exercised a demon. It got a good workout,
Like-
apparently.
I was going to say, like, you took him out for a walk? See,
Oh,
you're
well.
talking and we can't hear you.
I was talking to my son.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys exercised a demon, we sat and read.
We need to go back tomorrow to make sure the man is okay.
All right. So that will leave us with you guys finishing that off. He'll help you finish off your heraldry. Specifically your coat of arms. And there's a lot of options. Like it's a sort of inundating, but you seem to have charmed Hero, so he's willing to put it in the extra effort. He points out and spends the evening going over, and he shifts away from the heraldry to give you guys, give Sprocket especially a bit of a break, and describes the ceremony itself. Says it'll be in 3 parts. There will be the introduction, where you are introduced in large. This will be your entry. Typically seeing, you will not see the king until your final hour. You must meet with each of the circles of the court first.
In the introduction?
Yes, during the introduction. The introduction will take the better part of a morning. A light meal will be served as hors d'oeuvre throughout.
Sprockets decided to write notes on this, and on his notes, ceremony in 3 parts,
You should
introduction.
expect to greet about.
This is still in the introduction before the food?
Yes, like there's
Okay.
a number of nobles there should be on the order of, I'm not sure. Probably from 3 regions, there will be about 8 families. Total, they'll send 2 noble members from each, and they'll have about 16 members of their retinue. You'll only be expected to speak with the nobles themselves.
And you said there were 8 from 3 regions, so what, 24? So 48?
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Oh, you're good with numbers. Oh, excellent. It's nice to work with.
Can I get a beer over here?
Now, I have a list, and he unrolls a scroll. He goes, "This is from the first family." And he begins to go over names and their family history and what they're going to talk to you about and why you should care about them.
Do I get flashcards?
It's we can do that.
Pascal will
thank you.
assist in this endeavor and attempt to memorize as many things as possible in
right.
an effort
This
to slip you notes as needed during the ceremony.
Certainly beyond me.
Fine. Sounds good. Anybody who helps can make an intelligence check.
Does this
We'll
include
save
me?
those for later. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so but say you said save it for later.
We will save it for later. I need the rolls now.
Oh, okay. Intelligence.
I need to know how much I need to write down to actually tell you beforehand.
Oh, that's good. That's a 21. Rocket
11.
actually gives a shit.
I got a 16.
21. You memorize all 3 regions. You memorize each of the families, and you do memorize all of each and every one of the nobles' name, as well as one fact about each of the families. One
All
major
3.
thing.
Sorry, I'm writing down. I memorized all 3 regions, each of the families, and a fact about each of the families.
Yes. So that's 3 regions. What else?
3 regions,
Regions with 8 families.
8 families, 2 people each.
Yep. So 24 facts I need to write down.
And 24 facts.
48 nobles
Names.
I need. I'm an idiot. I have so many regrets right now.
Did you come up with this process and not think through the that is nearly 50 names and
That's not so
24
bad, but I've just realized my problem is much more. I have to come up with 24 families.
You about to have to do 24 families worth
Like
of world
I have
building.
some ready. I don't have 24 ready.
I'm sure.
Oh dear. By the way, I'd like to thank this episode to the Vornheim book and its cover, which helped me roll that. Okay. That said, I think we'll wrap up there as he's instructing you. That'll finish up this day. Let's see. So that moves us on to making your request. We'll talk about that more. And the next day will be ceremony prep. Basically, a day of you going over this. We will not do that in character.
Hey.
So next time it's going to be introductions at court. And
Did memorizing this stuff get me a good die or
not yet.
I was gonna say, or is that too
utilizing what you're getting might.
Okay.
Where are you at right now?
1 and 1.
1 white, 1 black?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then yeah, you should have another 1 by because you're crest. I forgot about that.
So 2 white, 1 black.
Okay. Nidna, could you also roll a charisma check for me? While you're resting one time,
18.
he comes over and goes, how was your... Pretty good. So I heard you took your leave of the young lord while he was studying. Did your day fare well?
Indeed. Hopefully we saved a man who was possessed by a demon.
He says, he coughs and he goes, oh, pardon?
Yes, we found a homeless man who had been possessed by a demon of hunger. We brought him to the Temple of Wazik, and I removed his curse, hopefully.
But you removed his... I'm sorry, you're going to have to slow down. You found a man who was possessed. How did you know he was possessed?
Because he ate an entire cat whole.
I've seen the Dragonborn take large bites of food, but that's, a little disturbing to something wolf that. I'm not sure that qualifies as possession, though. Or are you sure?
We worked him down. He was crippled. He was not well. I began casting spells to heal him, and every time I did, I felt a resistance, a presence. Something was
Oh,
wrong.
that's terrible. But you've done good work today. Well,
Thank you.
I do believe you said he was a human.
Yes.
a human ate a cat whole.
Yes,
Oh, monster.
He was merely possessed.
Yes. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, what happened to the man?
We brought him to the Temple of Wazik. I attempted to remove his curse. We believe that it is removed, but we are going to go back tomorrow just to make sure.
It's very noble of you. I admire follow through. That's for certain. Take another white die, Ben.
Yes! You people are awesome.
That 18 was incredible.
We're at 3 white, 1 black. So I don't actually know. These are D6s, right?
The black's a D3.
Okay.
How many dice you'll lose?
Oh, how many dice? I thought it was just like plus the white minus whatever I rolled on the
No.
black. That's fun. So I could still lose all of my dice.
Possible. I'm working out that in specific detail. I've got to numbers crunch it a bit. It's also a possibility that the black die may be a plus minus fate die type thing. If
Oh,
you get
that'd
a
be cool.
minus, one of your dice becomes negative, not positive.
Huh. That's interesting.
I actually like that one more because it's a little more.
As opposed to just, well, those 3 dice I earned are suddenly gone, because reasons?
Yeah. Yeah, if you get enough white dice, enough status can wipe out any.
Status is a thing that builds, I'm assuming, or is this a one and done roll?
Pretty much one and done.
Okay.
Pretty much. It'd be like luck in DC. Like it might flux, but first impressions are everything.
Right, or
God, that's so Houses of the Blooded. In fact, I think those exact words are used in Houses of the Blooded. As Keeper is grinning.
I don't know.
Yes.
If that's true, but it sounds like it's something.
First impressions are everything are words that are used, that is verbatim what it says in the rules for Houses of the Blooded.
Cute. I don't know
Yep.
that. Anyways, well, I think that wraps up tonight. Good job wiping the floor with all the things for the most part. For the most part.
Nice job with that demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Sure.
there was a lot of ways that could have gone.
Wish Pascal had Elvish. God,
I have
had somebody with an
giant.
actual plus to their intelligence rolls doing that stuff.
Perhaps
I mean, you
I'll
did
put
have
it in my
me.
list of things to learn over an extended period of time.
Actually, I think I rolled an 11 twice. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I rolled an 18 3 times.
I rolled like hot garbage today.
I rolled. Well,
I got
I started
119.
I started
That was
hot garbage and then made better.
I just find it interesting that Siege and I rolled the same number.
Yeah, I'm glad you were rolling well, Nid, during that possessed beggar phase, because
Yeah.
I just
I'm
was
happy
not
that went
happening
well.
for me.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
I have a lot. Please excuse me as I literally write down that I have a lot to do. I have to write up what
8.
48 families.
No. 24 families, 48
Oh,
members.
24 families.
3 regions, 8 families from each region, 2 members of the family. So only 24. We were blowing it out of proportion before.
3
Only
regions
24 things.
With 8
It's better than 48.
It's twice as good. All right, I'm gonna kill the stream.
Sounds good.
All right.
So,
See you
catch us
around.
next
Good
week.
night, everyone.
Bye.